Okay. This is Animal Paradise. We're in the Christmas holiday. Yeah. Today is 24th of December 2023. I don't want to go anywhere today. I'm not going anywhere. After church, I just want to be at home because the traffic in town is a little bit stressful. So I'm going to be at home today. I made one video since. I want to make another one now. I want to talk about how to operate and manage your goat farm. How to actually operate and manage your goat farm. Under the operation and management of the goat farm, we have daily routine management. There are things you do daily in your farm every day. We're going to talk about that today. There are things you do weekly in your goat farm. We're also going to talk about that. There are things you do monthly in your goat farm, and there are things you do quarterly in your goat farm. Now, I may not be able to cover everything, and then secondly, every farm has its uniqueness. I've said that in so many videos. Every farm has its uniqueness. There are some practices we practice in Animal Paradise that you may not practice in your own farm. And there are things you do in your own farm that we may not do in our own farm. There are some things we take as minor that you may take as major in your farm. Depends on how your farm is structured. Are you seeing it? I went to a farm yesterday. In that farm, they use brick. They use brick to fence the farm. I was just jealous in that farm. And we use chain link to fence our farm. Even though that advantage has a disadvantage because the land is not so big. But the fence is permanent and unbreakable, undefilable by the small ruminants, especially the Nigerian dwarf rascal goats. They are defiling our chain link fence. They will just put head and use their horn to shake it before they just put their head and before they're outside. Sometimes the money used in doing that fence, you will not be wondering, what was happening? Then you will not still strategize again and see how to do some other kind of things. But that's that. But because of that, there is a need for the workers to be patrolling that fence, like people who are doing security patrol. They have to be patrolling that fence. Like my workers now, one patrols by, it's 8 o'clock. One will go and turn around the fences and see if anywhere is broken. He will come back. 9 o'clock, another person will go and turn around the fences. He will come back. 10 o'clock, another person will go and turn around the fences. So that's how they are changing patrol duties every day, every hour, to ensure that the animals, even though they break out, they will quickly get them in. But because of the patrol, the way they are patrolling, it is difficult for the animals to break out because they are hard animals. That hard animals, when we call them hard animals, we mean that they create gang. They make themselves up into gang, and if they don't see their gang, they will be crying. If sometimes one animal goes and come to drink water and then goes back to where he left his group and he didn't see them, they start making noise in the old bush. He start making noise until he sees those his gang. And they, just like human beings have group of friends, that's how they also have group of friends. They mingle, the group of friends, they are always together. And then they because they're always together, they always escape together. They eat together, they escape together. Some of them also come back together and lie down together. So like in our farm there now, if you see a group, there's a group of the 5 brown goats, the 5 Sokoto red. If you don't see one there, you have to go and look for him. And there was a day one gave birth in the bush. When we were in the evening, we're not looking at, they'll say, where the black one? We didn't see the black one. We now know that he wasn't inside the house. Even though we have not counted that evening, we knew it wasn't there because his gang was there. He was not part of them. We now have to go back. We now discover that he gave birth in the bush. He didn't want to leave his baby. And so the baby could not walk with it back to the house. And so he didn't want to leave his baby. Now stay with his baby. And then we now have to carry them back into the pen. That's one of the daily routine management, actually. Counting the goats and also chasing them in by 6 o'clock. If they are grazing within the parameter, within the fence or within your property, if by 6 o'clock, before the day gets dark, you have to chase them all in. And then they are training animals. The more you chase them in, after like 5, 6, 7 times, they also begin to know that they have to come back home. I seen it. Like what I want to do right now, I want to get a bell, a kind of a ringing bell. Once it's 6 o'clock, the boys will make noise with that bell. So any animal within the bush will hear that bell and know it's time to come home. So whenever they ring that bell and they begin to, after a few minutes, they begin to chase them in, they will learn. That's why we call it training goats. You are training the goats. There are things you teach them. The domesticated animals. The pattern you begin to take them through, after some time, then themselves will understand that pattern and begin to follow it by themselves. Are you seeing it? And sometimes if you are in the bush with goats and then you don't have a watch, a wristwatch or a clock, there is a way you observe those animals. You begin to know time. And once it is after 5:30 to 6, there's a way the animals behaves. Once that sun is going down, you may not feel it as a human being. They have a way of feeling it. When they read it with their sensor, they start behaving the way they behave in the evening. Some will start coming back home by themselves. I see. While there are other group of animals that based on where they were before, they are night grazers. They are goats that go out to eat in the night. And so if they come home and you don't lock them, by 7:30, those sets of night grazers will go out again. They'll go and graze. If you leave them, they can come back around 9 o'clock, back into the pen. They are used to grazing at night. That's just the way they were trained in the place where they were before. But if they begin to stay in your farm and you begin to take them through a particular program or a particular pattern, which I want to use the word, begin to train them. You must have had the word training goats. By the time you're going to train them to that pattern, they will get used to it. Are you seeing it? So that's that for that. We have weekly routine management. We have daily routine management, under which we have number 1, counting the animals. Once your workers wake up in the morning, they are supposed to count the animals. They will count them in the morning. They will count them in the evening. In the morning, once they count them, maybe they count 275 in the morning. They will allow them to go and graze. Then in the evening, once those animals return by 6 o'clock, they should chase all the animals in by 6 o'clock. So that between 6 o'clock and 6:30, they will count the animals. After counting, they discover that they count 200 instead of 275, they counted 274. They will have time to recount. Maybe they made a mistake. If they recount again and discover it is 274, that means one goat is still in the bush. This is after 6:30. There is still bright light for them to go into the bush and chase them out. Instead of leaving them, some people will leave them till 7 o'clock. They will just go and lock the door. If you go and lock the door like that, some will be in the bush and then you will not know they are in the bush. They will sleep in the bush. If they mistakenly sleep in the bush or sleep anywhere apart from their pen 3 nights, that place is not their house. They will no longer come home again. So they will go 6 o'clock, chase them in, or even 5:30. Animals that have been grazing since 10 o'clock in the morning. Meanwhile, it is 10 o'clock you release your animals to go and graze. It is 10 o'clock you release your animals to go and graze, because of the dews in the grass need to dry so that the worms will fall down. Once the worm falls down, the goats will go and eat, and the number of worms they will take in may not be much. So the first thing the people do in the morning is to get into the pen, count the goats. When they count the goats, they will chase them to their exercising area. Okay, no, even before then. After counting the goats, the counting is morning and evening. They will count in the morning and release them to go graze. In the evening, once they bring them back from grazing, they will count again. And if you have 2 workers, the person who counts in the morning should not be the person who counts in the evening. When the person who counts in the morning counts, whatsoever number he sees, he will write it down, he will write his name, he will sign on the record. Then the other person will count in the evening, write his name and sign for accountability purposes. And one person should not be counting and say complete. Like some of those lazy people, they'll say complete. Meanwhile, when you are employing your farm workers, ensure that there are people that have a little bit of education. At least they should be able to count 1 to 500 or 1 to 100 in 5 sections, in case your animals get up to 500. There are some group of workers that cannot count 1, 2, 3. There's some Hausa boy had. He doesn't know how to count English 1, 2, 3, so he counts his own 1, 2, 3 in Hausa language. I seen it. He counts it in Hausa language. At the end, like me, I'm a kind of a free person. I don't really care how you get the result. Just give me the result. So if he counts, he will be counting in Hausa language, After counting how many you count, he will not show me how he counted it. Then we'll not add it together and find out that the number is complete. If it's complete, I don't have to have issues. Whether you speak English or you speak Hausa or you speak Cotonou language, just make sure the goats are complete. If they are complete, anyhow you get there, it doesn't really concern me. So they count in the morning and then they count in the evening. In the morning, why do they count in the morning? Something they counted in the evening. Why are they not counting in the morning? Some people may scale the fence and come and steal one in the night. When they steal one in the night, you counted in the evening 375 or 275 goats in the evening, and then somebody came while men slept. Somebody comes in the night, jump the fence, scale the fence, or even tear a hole in the fence and enters and steal one. In the morning, you will still see many goats. So you have to count in the morning to ensure that the numbers you left there in the night are complete in the morning. Then once they go out to graze in the morning, you will not count when they come back in the evening to ensure that something gets missing in the bush. Like what we have in our place there now. We're having a lot of challenges there. Kidnappers are there. The community people are forming enemies and all those stuff. Sometimes when our animals break out of the fence, some of the community people see them in their farms, they cut them with cutlass. And there was one baby goat there was a cutlass mark at the back. Thank God it was a small goat. You know, small Nigerian dwarf are very, very fast and swift. They are very swift. That was how that goat was able to escape. If not, when we're counting, when we're administering a multivitamin to them, we now saw that one has a cutlass mark at his back, but the wound is going to heal. Now imagine if there are injured it there and then it didn't come back. The numbers you counted in the morning will be reduced by 1. If you just use your eye to say they're complete, 1 is short, you will not know. I've seen it. 1 is short, you will not know. So once you count in the evening, you will know the number of animals that came back home. If they are not complete, by 6:30 you have enough bright light, daylight, to quickly go around and search for them to bring them home. I've seen it. That's the essence of counting in the morning and counting in the evening. 2 people, we have to do the counting. And then if you have if you have 50 goats in your farm, 1 person can manage them, but by the time you are now having 60, 65, 70 upward, there's a need to get 2 people together to help you manage them. Except you are having a farm, a very large land that is fenced with brick. If your farm is fenced with brick, and then the animals can graze within that brick, you may need 1 person, because they are not going to break that brick to come out. But we that are having chain link fences, sometimes the animals used to defile that fence, they'll break out, and then if maybe like 15 or 20 break out, 1 person may not be able to chase them in. 1 person will have to be at the gate, open the gate, stand at the other side, so that when you're chasing them from the north, chasing them down, they will not run past that gate to the west or to the east. So somebody will stand there. Then that one will prevent them from passing the gates. They will not run into the farm again. So that's the essence of 2 people together there. And then 2 people also, 2 heads are better than 1, even though they are coconut head. Even though there are 2 coconut head, at least 2 coconuts is better than 1 coconut. The more the better. So that's why they have to be 2. And then after counting in the morning, there is need for what we call the health check. After they have counted the animals in the morning, then there is health check. Health check is in the process of time where they are with them counting. They are also going to try to see if anyone is coughing. If anyone is coughing, meanwhile, you have to tag your animals, give them identification, because once the animals are more than there are many, you cannot identify them by face. So you have to give them tag numbers. That tag numbers will help the boys to record that in the morning, animal number 079 was coughing. They'll write it down. Animal number 079 was having catarrh. Animal number 079 was having diarrhea. Animal number 079 was having rough coat. Animal number 079 was having temperature. And sometimes when animals are behaving one kind, you catch them and touch their body. The way you feel human temperature, if they're having fever, you touch their body. If their body is hot, you check it. Animal number 079 was limping. Animal number 079 is having overgrown hoof. It needs hoof trimming. So all these things I'm mentioning, they are things the workers will check out for in the morning on the animals. There are some animals early morning, they must have the wet nose. They must have wet nose. And they must have wet nose, even though we used to think that all catarrh is a symptoms of PPR, but some can have that wet nose and the PPR will not affect them. And sometimes in the morning they'll have wet nose, but when they go into the sun later from around 10 o'clock, the wet nose will disappear. I've seen it. So the workers will take a record of all these animals, who is coughing, who is having diarrhea, who is having cough, who is having rough coat, their body is rough. Later we will investigate what is the reason for the rough coat, why the body is rough, and we'll investigate it and find out, is it rough as a result of worms? Is the hair on the body rough as a result of malnutrition? If it's malnutrition, why is it not eating? Why is it not eating well? That may show you that your feed in the whole general farm is not nourishing enough. There are some persons that are buying dry feed now. Some of those dry feed are not as the older they are, they lose nutritional quantity, nutritional value, and the older those those feeds are. Excuse me. Like those arawa. The older arawa is, it will be losing nutrition. It will become, at a point, it will become just sticks and fiber, just sticks. I seen it. It may not have enough nutrition quantity in it. That's why a little bit fresher ones are better. I seen it. So malnutrition or inadequate nutrition may be the reason for the roughness of the hair on the body of the goat. Some may have temperature because they have infections. Others may have temperature because cold is worrying them. So all these are daily routine management of the goats and the goat farm. Hello, uncle. Be fast and leave there. That noise is disturbing me. So these are daily routine management of the farm. Number one, daily counting. Sometimes I will want to say that the counting of goats is a goat farm ritual, and most people don't do it. Always make sure that you count your goats. And at this point, my goats, they already know the counting ritual. And in the morning, once you chase them all into that room where they are supposed to come out, all of them start coming out by rank. When I mean by rank, they know who is next to come out. They know who is next to come out. I seen it. So they start coming out by rank. Once you chase them into that room, you open the door small. They'll be coming out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's how you count their number. After counting their number, you chase them in again. Even sometimes in the process of counting that number, you don't just count the number, you observe. As an experienced farmer, there are things you'll be observing in the body of the animals. You'll be observing their head, their eyes, nose, mouth, their bum. So as they are coming, you check their eyes, nose, and bum. As they run out, you check their back. And sometimes when the goat is having diarrhea, it will be staining the leg in the back. It will stain the tail. So if you see the tail is carrying dada, you will know that, okay, something is wrong there. It's having diarrhea. Sometimes the diarrhea might be drying off already. I've seen it. So you use that to observe all those things. As they run out, you count them. As they're running out, you check out for limping. Anyone that is limping, As they run out, you check out for overgrown hoof, and then you will just be checking out anything that is wrong. You catch that one quickly, because like in our counting place now, they have a room where you pack all of them into. They will run from that room to another room before they can run out to the major hall. And so if they run out from that first room, you count them, you check that something is wrong, you lock them inside that second small room, a paddock, small compartment. Yeah, you lock them in there and catch them and write their number down. Sometimes you can even tie his leg down, because you know that you want to attend to him after the counting. So after you have counted, you let them go. If you want to chase them back again, hold them one to scrutinize them very well, which we do once in a week. That holding them to scrutinize them is once in a week. The everyday on is just to chase them out and check them. Not so just be checking them. Anyone's having diarrhea, you pick it out. Anyone's limping, you pick it out. But on a weekly basis, remember I talked about the daily routine, weekly routine, monthly routine, and quarterly routine. So all these things goes together. Weekly routine, you will now have to catch them one. That catch them one, you're going to administer multivitamin, and the one that is needed, the dewormer. All of them gets multivitamin every week. Whether pregnant, whether normal, whether they're small, whether anyone, they get different levels of injectable multivitamins every week. So that process of catching them to give them that multivitamin, you will not take time to check their general body, how they are looking like. And if you have time, put them on a scale. That once in a week, put them on a scale. If you have a book, record what they weigh this week in that book, and next week record what they weigh. You keep that record based on the tag numbers in their ear. Once you catch one, that tag number is number 67. You have number 67 on your book. So once you finish giving it injection, giving it multivitamin, you put it on the scale. You check how it's weighing, then you write it down. Meanwhile, because you are attending to them in the morning and they have not eaten, it will influence with what they will weigh when they finally eat later in the evening. So because you're going to release them by 10 o'clock, by that 10 o'clock, most of their feed have digested and then they have reduced in weight. But if you weigh the same animal again in the evening, it's going to add up, because he has eaten a lot from morning to evening. It's going to add up. And so you can just still weigh them and record what you weigh down every week. That week is when you're giving them multivitamin and dewormer. The ones that need dewormers, the one that doesn't need, let them skip. Are you seeing it? Then back to daily routine management. I don't know if I should make this video one lengthy video or cut it into pieces, but anyway, I think I'll make it one lengthy video. Now, on a daily basis, I know many farms that don't like to sweep in every day, but on a daily basis, your workers must sweep the pen. That sweeping that pen will help their urine to dry. We also help viruses and germs to be eradicated from the environment. Bacteria used to affect goats, and a decaying poop will create bacteria. A decaying goat shit will create bacteria, especially the ones that were when they poo and they now urinate on top of the poo. And if they urinate on top of that poo, that one is going to decay into bacteria faster than the other ones. So every day, that's why we pay our workers. They must sweep where the goats sleep. The goat should not sleep on yesterday's poop. When they sweep, it will dry. The urine also will dry off. The area will look serene. The breeze that is blowing around in the pen will look fresh. And in case you don't know, they call some dirty people, excuse me please, they call some dirty people pigs, but goats are not pigs. Goats are very clean animals. Take for instance, if you put goat water down and you sweep, and the dust from sweeping the ground enter that water, those goats will starve of taste from morning to evening. There will be a bowl of water there, but because there are dust on top, the goat will not drink it. And that's what we observe in our farms. But sometimes we see the street goats drinking gutter water, but the ones in our farm, once you sweep and the dust enter on top of the water they are drinking, they will avoid that water. Are you seeing it? So you must sweep the goats house where they sleep every day. After counting, after the health check, the next thing is sweep. When they are sweeping, sometimes as they are sweeping, the goats will go to the exercising yard. They will go to the exercising yard, then the workers will sweep inside the pen where they slept. in that exercising yard, there's no food, there's nothing there. They remember they're going to go out by 10 o'clock today. And that 10 o'clock, it's, if you're releasing them by 10, it has its own advantages. It helps the animal to not taking so much worms, because worms must have dried away from the grass. And also it helps them to ruminate. That they are ruminant animals. There's something they have eaten in a rush that they gathered in their first intestine. They will bring it out again and chew it well again and digest it. Then all the vitamins in that thing will enter into their system. But if they keep eating, that's even the essence of the exercising area. There's a time you keep them to just be chewing their mouth. And you keep them to be chewing their mouth. So that's for sweeping, health check, counting. Counting is advantageous to the owner of the farm. It helps you to know the number of animals you are having per time in your farm, so that your workers will not end up selling some animals and telling you, God, they're complete. That's that. And then if you're having a farm and you're not there, or having any business, you're not there, put CCTV cameras there. I posted a CCTV camera here in my channel recently. Buy CCTV camera, install it in strategic places in your farm, so that from the comfort of your home, you'll be seeing what is going on in the farm there. And you'll see what is going on in the farm. That's that. And then under daily routine management, the animals are supposed to eat clean food, clean water, and then supplemented water. You have to be adding supplements to your your goat drinking water every day. Sometimes you add salt, sometimes you add multivitamin. Like our own now, Monday to Friday we add multivitamin. One particular day when I will come, I get like 6 jerry cans. There are some nocturnal animals that came newly. Those guys can drink water. Those nocturnal animals, they can drink. When they are drinking today, so we get 6 jerry cans. We put there's a quantity of salt we put in that black rubber we use in giving them water. I just put the normal quantity of salt in it. They will start turning the jerry cans in. As you're turning the jerry cans in, it will be melting the salt. Then you see them drink and drink and drink and drink and drink. Then we finish all those jerry cans of water. They will drink and finish all of them. Are you seeing it? So that's that for the salt. But every day, once you mix their water in, once you give them water, you put a multivitamin. There's an injectable multivitamin with the oral multivitamin. It's you use syringe to remove it from inside the can. You add it to their drinking water. Sometimes you put it in the bowl first before you add the water, so that when you're turning the water into it, it will be missing the multivitamin that you added into the drinking water. It will be missing it. You will not have to come and mix them again later. So as you're turning it in, it will be mixing it into it by itself. So that's that for counting daily, health check, sweeping, and then clean food and clean water. You're welcome. Your animals are not supposed to be drinking ordinary water. Your goats are not supposed to be drinking ordinary water. Don't give your goat ordinary water. There must be something in the water, either salt or multivitamins every time. And then on a daily basis, just like I said at the beginning, my workers used to check the fence round. They used to check the fence round. So the workers are supposed to go and be checking the structures of the farm. What are the conditions of the structures of the farm? Are they okay? Are they broken? Remember, the Nigerian dwarf, they are rascal animals. They destroy the damage. And now we have every step is different wahala in itself. I bought some donkey, 4 pieces of donkey, 3 females, 1 male. All the wood we use in doing our pen, they don't chop all of them finish. The donkeys, they eat anything and everything. What goats leave as leftovers, donkey will match it. They break them. There's what we call 2x2 in here. 2x2 wood that were used for roofing. Those wood we use we use those wood, then we nail the zinc to the wood. The wood we use in covering the body of the pen. These goats this donkey will break off that wood and be chewing it like a stick. They have eaten almost all the woods there. I seen it. They'll just be picking it. They'll be cracking it. They'll just be chewing it. At the end, that one is another one like itself. So the workers are supposed to check. They will check if any of the structure is damaged, their pen or the fence. every day, because if it is damaged, if goats run out of your pen or run out of your grazing field to another person's land, if they eat something there, you may go there and pay for what they eat. That's not the problem. But the problem is, if somebody should steal them, what will happen? Are you seeing it? If somebody should steal them, what will happen? You will lose. That's the reason why we must ensure that the goats don't break out. We must make sure that they don't break out of the property. They don't break out of your parameter, your compound. Are you seeing? If they break out, you may end up losing them. And sometimes your workers, you have to teach them how to chase goats in. I have to teach some of my workers how to chase goats in. If a goat break out and is running towards the junction, you don't chase him from the back. If you chase him from the back, he keep running away from the house. So you're going to leave him there. You cut inside the bush and go and block him and chase him back to the house. If you chase him from the back, he will be running away till he will run to area where he doesn't know anymore. So you're going to enter inside the bush or find a shortcut to go and intersect it at the front. So you will be between him, he will be between you and the house. So you'll be chasing it back to the house. Don't just chase the goat from the back, it will start running. So you cut off, go and pass bush, pass anywhere. Sometimes you have to run around the whole fence to the other side to go and chase them back to where the gate is, let them enter. Are you seeing it? So that's daily routine management. They have to check the fence, whether it is broken. And then let me quickly ship this in. Under weekly routine management, we have deworming them, checking their general health, like I said before, deworming them. There are some deworming programs that is every week. That one is another lecture on itself, how to identify a situation where you give them weekly dewormers. But multivitamin is every week for the rest of their life. Injectable multivitamin. That's what we do. We give injectable multivitamins uninterruptedly. We give them injections every week, injectable multivitamin. It helps them to eat. It helps their fur to shine. It helps them to look healthy. It helps to regulate and regulate most things in their body. And so every week you give them multivitamin. Every week you check out for the ones that are needing weekly dewormers. One of the best dewormers is ivermectin. Now, if a goat comes to your farm newly, give it ivermectin for 5 weeks. Every week for 5 weeks. Every Monday for five Mondays. It will break the worm load and re-regulate the worm system. Then after you have done that, you can subject the goats to maybe monthly deworming, or every 2 months or every quarter deworming. So it depends on how you read the worm system of the goat. If a goat is having merge, that one you can give dewormers every other day. You give on Monday, you jump Tuesday, you give on Wednesday, you jump Thursday, you give on Friday, you jump. So you give it 5 weeks, 5 days, 5 times in 10 days, because it's having merge. And if you have an old herd, that is your farm, your farm and all the animals have been there for maybe more than like 6 weeks, 6 months, 1 year, they have all been together. If you see 2 or 3 animals that are having merge, that is a sign that the worm load is building. Deworming has been, ivermectin administration has been lacking in all the herd. So there is a need to really deworm all the animals. Please, hello, close this door for me. There is a need. That is a sign that you have to deworm all the animals. You don't have to be waiting for one to show worm problems or show skin problems before you now start looking for ivermectin to give them. And then you have to have a record of how you have been deworming or administering dewormers to your animals. You have a record of it. And if you have that record, you'll be managing your farm well. Remember, we are talking about daily management, daily routine management, weekly routine management, monthly routine management. I see it. Don't just leave your animals. Some people used to complain that their animals are dying. Like somebody called me, he said his animals are dying. His animals are dying. What is happening? I told him, okay, you are not managing the farm. Your worker is just there, sleeping and waking up. How often does he deworm them? How often does he administer multivitamin? He doesn't do anyone. They just leave them there. These are farm animals. They are not street animals. Street animals don't need dewormers because their feed and their adventure is unlimited. street animals adventure anywhere, everywhere. They go and lick cement from somewhere, they go and drink dirty water, they go and eat rotten food. All those ones serve as their own dewormers. While the farm animals are restricted to a particular feed. Are you seeing it? So they need a kind of supplement. A supplement. Are you seeing it? And so that's every week you check that. If you receive new animals, the animals newly, put them on a 5 weeks program of administering dewormers to them to break their worm load and all that. And then multivitamin is always every time. And then monthly also is there. And then other quarterly routine management, you get hoof trimming. You have to observe the hoof of your animals every 3 months and see how you're gonna reduce them. You don't really have to wait for them to grow and be very, very ugly before you start administering to them. Are you seeing it? So you have to do that every 3 months. Get their hoof, maintain it, not necessarily trimming the hoof. And when you leave a hoof and it has gone so grown, then you have to trim. But when you do it every 3 months, it's maintaining it. You just take it, okay, this one is a little bit overgrown, you just carve it small, maintain it. You remove all the sand and all the kind of broken part of the hoof. You remove them before it start creating decay on the hoof. You remove them, you call it maintenance. You just maintain it, clean it up and maintain it. Like that, they won't have foot rot because you're maintaining it. That's quarterly. And then you may go to yearly and all that. So the last point I want to talk about is if your goats give birth, this one is not weekly, it's not monthly, it's not yearly, it's just the breeding season or situational. If your goat give birth, watch it. If it's in labor, if your goat is in labor, watch it for some few time. Oh man, it's getting dark. Oh man, my phone is up. Please permit me. Yeah, okay, let me just quickly say that and round this up in the next 5 minutes. If your goat give birth, if it's in labor, observe it. A goat labor is not supposed to last between 10 minutes and 15 minutes or even 20 minutes is too much. So if they are in labor, observe them. If you keep trying and keep trying, it's not able to give birth, give it oxytocin, 3 to 4 mil of oxytocin. It will help to make the vulva to open up, and then they go to give birth easily. The placenta will come out. If you leave it on a natural process that you didn't give it oxytocin, if you give birth and the placenta didn't fall on time, you can give it oxytocin. If you give birth, the placenta fall, the breast is not producing milk, you can give it oxytocin. Are you seeing it? It will help all the systems to work well. Now, after that, the goat has given birth. If it doesn't allow the baby to suck within the next 1 hour of giving birth, you have to hold the mother and put the baby to the breast. You will hold, I think it's one of our videos. You will hold the mother and put the baby to the breast. All those first-time kidders, they find it very difficult to nurse their babies. Sometimes when their baby touch their breast, it will be tinkling them, so they may want to not allow. Are you seeing it? So you hold the mother and allow the baby to suck that colostrum, that first milk. Sometimes we used to extract that milk into a syringe and press the syringe into the baby's mouth. And you have to be a professional to do that. Are you seeing it? So please permit me that the video is getting dark. You hold the baby, they hold the mother, the baby will suck. And then when a goat give birth, normally don't allow the mother and the baby to sleep where the mother was sleeping before it give birth. You have to have another room or another space that is well covered for cold for the babies to stay, because cold that the body of the mother can resist because she is big and she has fat, the newborn baby may not be able to resist it if they sleep in the same place. Are you seeing it? The mother can be sleeping in a place and is resisting the cold because it has fat in his body and is big. The newborn baby may not be able to. After like 2 weeks, cold will kill the baby. And cold does not just kill baby overnight. Sometimes they can die overnight. But before they die, they are already running temperature. They will first reduce their the way they suck, the way they eat. They will reduce the way they are active. They'll be slowing down. Before you know it, they'll just start staying in one place. Before you know it, they just die off. Are you seeing it? So you will hold the mother, the baby will suck. When they give birth, relocate them to where more nursing mother section. That nursing mother section, like in our own place, there is a room. We have our farm. We have a 3 room, 1 for the workers, one maybe let us say 2 for the workers. Then the 3rd one is where the goats stay when they give birth. They stay there for like 1 month. The mother and the baby will stay there till they will go out and be grazing and be coming back. Sometimes they will go into the fence area, they will graze, but the mother and the baby will come back to their sleeping place because of cold. Then some of the nights will on fire on inside out their sleeping place, the where the mother and the baby staying, will on fire there. It keeps them warm. Are you seeing it? So that's that. My video is already 40 minutes. I'm going to make another video to continue this topic or some other topic. Maybe if I have chance tomorrow, I will make another video on breeding patterns. And breeding patterns. There are patterns you breed your goats. You have 3 births in 2 years. There are patterns you breed your goats. You have 2 births in 1 year. And there are different patterns. Are you seeing it? We'll talk about that in the next video I'll make. This is Animal Paradise. Permit me for the darkness of the video. I'm relaxing outside here, and then the night came. Permit me for the darkness. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our page on Facebook, and if you like, you can join any of our WhatsApp group. Thank you very much. Bye bye.